Hello, and welcome to a special Halloween episode of D-Pad Danny Reviews. Today we'll be looking at a game that's a ghostly good time. Luigi's Mansion was a launch title for the Nintendo GameCube in 2001. Most people were naturally expecting a big blowout Mario title at the system's launch, but to their surprise it was Luigi that hailed in Nintendo's newest console. This is typically one of those love it or hate it kind of games. I personally love it. You would. Anyway. The premise involves Luigi receiving notice that he's won his own mansion. The only odd thing about that is he never entered any contest. Right around this time, Mario mysteriously goes missing. Again. Though shaken, the mansion is Luigi's only clue, so he pushes on, fearing the worst.
Hello?
Upon his arrival, Luigi finds himself face to face with a ghost! Just when he feels all hope is lost, a strange old man bursts into the room to come to our hero's aid, using some strange vacuum contraption. He introduces himself as Professor Egad, researcher of the paranormal. The small talk is short-lived, however, and with more apparitions on their tail, they escape to his lab. Egad informs Luigi that the mansion appeared out of thin air only days ago, and that a certain red-hatted plumber was seen entering but never came back out. With Mario needing saving, the wily professor equips you with the Poltergust 3000, a specialized vacuum engineered specifically for the purpose of sucking up ghosts. I knew this game sucked. Shut up. While holding the R trigger to suck, Luigi can be moved around with the control stick. The C stick can be used to change the angle the poltergust is facing. In order to suck up the ghosts, you'll need to stun them with your flashlight first, and then start in with your vacuum. While doing this, you will need to push the control stick in the opposite direction. This can be trying on your thumbs, as the ghosts won't go down without a fight, and typically move around a lot. If you can manage to stun multiple ghosts, you can suck up 2 or 3 at the same time. Just like your mom. In addition to the poltergust, the professor also outfits you with the Game Boy Horror, and let me tell you, this little device is pretty awesome. It provides a map which is invaluable as you navigate the mansion. It also allows you to scan things for information. This can be helpful when you're stumped. Ooh, selfie! It will also serve as your main form of communication with the professor. One more note about the map. Be sure you check it before opening doors, as some of them are decoys. I really love the atmosphere in this game. Everything's dark and shadowy and warped in a Nintendo pseudo-scary sort of way, and occasionally lightning strikes help add the eerie feel of creeping through a ghost-filled domicile. The music can be minimalistic at times, but suits the game quite nicely, offering some tunes that are sure to stick with you long after you've finished playing. There are many types of ghosts that you'll come across as you navigate the mansion. Some of them aren't much of a threat, like these orange guys. And look at these little ghost mice, so cute! Others exist only to annoy the crap out of you. These green ghosts throw banana peels around while you are drawing them in. You do your best to avoid them by moving around with the control stick, but you'll eventually slip on one. When you do, you'll lose a little bit of health, and the ghost will escape your suction for a little while. It won't regenerate its energy or anything, it's just an annoyance. Speaking of annoyances, sometimes a poison mushroom will show up and bounce around the room. Yeah, kinda like that. Touching these will shrink you, temporarily rendering you unable to use your vacuum. Luckily, this only lasts a little while, but gah! After clearing a room of its ghosts, the lights will come on, and often you'll get a key to another room in the house. In searching cleared rooms, you can sometimes receive a sizable amount of money in gold. Ah yes, the treasure. There is a ton of treasure hidden throughout the mansion. In drawers, cabinets, even in ceiling fans. It's fun just to wander around the various rooms sometimes just to see how much treasure you can find. In addition to the regular enemies, there's also portrait ghosts. These ghosts were previously trapped in pictures in Egad's lab, but have since escaped their canvas prisons to exist as they please. These won't let you suck them up as easily as the standard ghosts. Making good use of your Game Boy Horror to scan them will usually lend clues as to how each one of them can be obtained. Take this lady for example, talking about how beautiful she is and how perfect her hair is.
Well, she is a hottie.
Use your vacuum to open the curtains, allowing a breeze into the room that will surely mess up her hair. She'll get up to close them, leaving herself open for attack. Once you bring the portrait ghosts back to the lab, they are processed through a machine that will transfer them back into paintings where they belong.
They didn't do anything, they were framed. And another thing, this is a game in Mario Universe about ghosts. Where are the boos? Oh right, the boos.
At one point in the game, you'll find a room that appears to be a dead end, but the mirror reveals a switch. Pressing the switch will push a moving wall back, revealing a latch on the floor. And what's this? A warning? There's another switch hidden under the poster. After pressing this switch, the latch on the floor opens up and a whole bunch of boos escape from it, 50 to be exact. Apparently, these boos are the ones that freed the portrait ghosts in the first place, and are suspected to be behind the secret of the mansion and Mario's disappearance. You now have a new task. Find and catch as many of the boos as you can to weaken their collective power. Finding them won't be easy. Well, it wouldn't be if your awesome Game Boy Horror didn't have a built-in alert that blinks to indicate there's a boo-shaped object nearby. Seriously, what can't this thing do? Each boo has a comical name, like Boo La La, Game Boo Advance, Taboo, and so on. Boos are tricky and can escape the room before you finish slurping them up. If this happens, you can chase them to the next room. However, if they get into a room that you haven't found the key for yet, you might as well write it off and come back later. Your Poltergust can be upgraded at certain points of the game with elemental properties: fire, water, and ice. There are some ghosts that can't be sucked up until you hit them with a certain element, like these freezy ghosts. They need to be hit with a blast of fire before you can absorb them. Some of the larger bosses require elemental attack as well. The big boo on the roof needs to be popped by luring him into the horn of this frozen Pegasus statue. He will then explode into smaller boos. Using the ice from the statue, you need to freeze the boos so you can suck them up one by one. While on the topic of bosses, similar to the Big Boo, normal attacks won't work on these baddies. Each has their own weakness, and the method of attack will need to be catered to each boss. Sucking up these balls will allow you to shoot them in the direction your Poltergust is pointed when you release the R trigger. After stunning the baby with the ball, you can start the vacuuming process. Each boss is different and calls for you to use quick thinking and mastery of the controls if you hope to defeat them. Just as a warning, if you're worried about spoilers and would like to skip ahead, click the boo to skip to 11:23. Throughout your travels in the mansion, you will occasionally find one of Mario's belongings. These can be brought to the fortune teller ghost, where she will try to harness spiritual power to see the unseen, giving you clues to Mario's fate. Eventually, you will locate a toad in an outhouse, stating that there is something terrible in the well. After going to investigate, you'll find out exactly what happened to Mario. The poor plumber has been trapped in a portrait of his own. After you locate all of Mario's items for the fortune teller to use for visions, she sees something particularly disturbing. None other than the face of Bowser, King of the Koopas. Could it be that Bowser is really behind Mario's disappearance? Is he just using the boos as puppets? There's only one way to find out. It's time to enter the basement and rescue Mario. At this point, I had 49 boos, and guess who's number 50? Upon reaching King Boo, the picture of Mario turns into a picture of Bowser, and Luigi is quickly drawn into it, where he finds himself face to face with the big guy. Bowser will breathe fire and hurl spike bombs at you. The only thing you can really do is suck up the bombs and try to shoot them back at him. Hit him in the head and... wait a second, this whole thing's been a ruse! At this point, you know the drill. Vacuum away at Nasty King Boo. After a few rotations of this, King Boo will be defeated and Mario will be saved. You got the last Boo! Wait, what? 49?
Damn it!
Back at the lab, EGAD puts the Mario portrait into his machine in reverse. After a while, like a rocket, Mario pops out dazed. An ecstatic Luigi can do nothing but cry tears of joy as he makes a mockery of his brother. Luigi's Mansion isn't a scary game by any means, but I love it anyway. It has a nice spooky theme, as much as a Mario game can anyway. Regardless of how many people were disappointed in this as a launch title, I thought it was an awesome change of pace, and it was about time they gave Luigi his time in the spotlight. Granted, the point of the game is to save Mario, but still. I thoroughly enjoyed this game, and I strongly suggest that if you haven't played it, you definitely should.
Still, though, 49 boos. I don't know how I missed one. I thought it was pretty thorough. It's cool. He probably just went on vacation or something. Wait. One boo.